Today's video is going to be on a Snapper 8-horse 26-inch snowblower. So I'm a bit addicted to Facebook Marketplace sometimes, and I've seen this on Marketplace for weeks. Went from $100 to $75 to $50. Then it got relisted for $25. I kind of went back and forth with the guy a couple times. It was a little bit far away, so I just couldn't commit to doing it at the time. And today was the day. I got sick of looking at it on Marketplace, and I bought it for $20. That's what he wanted. I gave it to him. This thing is really beat. So let's just do a quick walk around. We got tire off the bead, tons of rust on the top of the motor. The chute control does not work there. I didn't even try this yet, but that seems to work. When I put it up on my truck, I could see through the bottom pan. It's full of mouse nests. The chute turner, left or righter, doesn't work. Don't know if the headlight works because it doesn't run. The pull cord, it looks like some camouflaged Amazon special. It's missing a few bolts, but the engine does have compression, so there is hope. Dipstick was glued together with something, don't know. Inside of the gas tank, you probably can't see it, but I can. It's clean, believe it or not. This tire, not much better. It's pretty weak. Now, the selling point for me, well, it's not really a selling point, but the part that made me actually say, yeah, I'll buy it, is the fact that the auger bearing is good. So I stuck my hand in here, shook it, and it's tight, and it spins nice and free, no problems. Gearbox is also tight. I shook these back and forth, and it seems to be fine. So what do we do? Do we do a budget video? Let's really see how much a $20 snowblower costs to fix, to make reliable. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So I obviously have some spare parts laying around, so we'll see what we can do with this thing. I'm gonna try to make it run and work as it should, keep it looking nice and ugly, and have it as a spare. Let's try to keep the budget under $100. I don't know, I don't think so, but we'll try. All right, so you can see the tire and rim are off. I did the ether trick, where you spray a bunch of ether in there and have the air compressor wide open. And you add a little bit of fire and it blows up and seats, and then you fill it up the rest of the way. So I'm not really going to work on this much today because I got a ton of other things to kind of handle here. And that's not even all of them. Yeah, so at least this will be easy to move now, and we can work on it at our leisure. Okay, got the tire back on. It looks like the fuel lines are intact for the most part. We're gonna throw some gas in it. As you can tell, it is about as empty as it can get in there. I did accidentally tip this thing over, but it does have enough oil. Quality is poor, but it has some in it. Oh boy, really good filming skills. I don't want to put too much in if it starts leaking everywhere. So this guy said it ran a couple years ago, doesn't run now. So let's see what happens. Chokes all the way. It's definitely priming. You can hear it for sure. I think it's gonna go. Interesting. Sounds like it may have a governor issue. Don't know. Let's find out again. Listen, we're not gonna hurt it, okay? Oh, this pull cord is really mangled. Okay, that's fine. That's a fairly healthy sounding engine. Do we have light? Wow, we got light. Okay. How about, I don't know what this does. No, nothing. How about this? No. Oh, yes. Auger works. So that was actually in neutral. Okay. This is very surprising. It appears to work. Choke's not all the way off, but man, you can smell the mice burning in there or whatever. Mouse nests. I felt the fins. There's plenty of airflow, so I'm not worried about overheating it any, but this thing's actually not bad for $20. All right. Okay, let's change the oil. Looks like there's some type of leak here. Stick the wrench on it. Well, that probably is part of it anyways, because that was not tight at all, which is, you know, that's fine. Not a big fan of these side mounted drain plugs. I like the ones that come off the back, because they do, inevitably, they will leak back, but if we just tip it a little bit, it should be fine. But we'll send this oil out for a oil analysis. No, absolutely not. We're not doing that. It's either good or it's not. I can tell you it's not. So, sure, if you're watching this video, you probably know how to change the oil in a snowblower anyhow. So, enough of that. Okay, well, while the oil's draining, let's change this antique out. Yes, I am running Harbor Freight Icon tools with a snap-on wrench. Makes sense. It's hot. Brand new Champion J19 LM. Make sure you torque it with a torque wrench. Alright. I mean, this is crazy. It's also very extremely hot. Let's take a look at the plug. I am just terrible with this camera. Seems like it's running rich, but not the worst thing I've ever seen. Okay, we tipped this snowblower up, so we're gonna take this pan off and see what, of course, you know, can't always win. See what's underneath here. Oh man. Yep, that was in there. Just a bit. Alright, here we go. Yes, we do in fact have a mouse problem in here. I was right. Alright, well, clean all this crap out of here. Okay, so we cleaned out the pan. What we're going to do in the meantime is take some of this degreaser and just give it a little spray, get some of that mouse crap out of there. And we are going to paint this thing with grease. The grease that I use is Lucas Red and Tacky because it was the cheapest at the time of purchase. It seems like it's a little thick, but it's not too bad. So what I usually do is just on the, what's it called? This is the drive disc, kinda. This is kind of similar to the old school Troy belts, the older red ones, before they got bought by MTD. It's very similar, especially this, the chute system, very similar. So I think I only really have worked on one of these before. So we'll paint this, and we'll go over and we'll hit the gears. I gotta stop looking through the camera when I'm recording. So I just kind of give it a good whatever, you know, get it in there. So you understand that, and then show you where I lubricate it. Okay, before we lubricate, it's a good time to check your drive disc. It actually looks, yeah, I mean, it's old, but it's all there. It's not delaminating at all. Seems fine, so that doesn't need replaced. But everything's all greased. It's a little overkill, but you know, we're working with something here that's just, it's partied, all right? You can kind of get some in here. I think you can hit this from the outside, yep. And then this, you can kind of shoot it in there. And then here. Same with here. Yep. And then there's some stuff way back there, like linkages and stuff. Send it. No big deal. And then I think there's one back here. You can barely see it. But now that it has spray on it, you can. Then I hit this. I don't do too much there because it will drip down. And then I just kind of like hit this a little bit, get a little bit in there. Okay, come on, there we go. And then there's a slide. Let me demonstrate. So you can see it just pivots on metal. So you gotta hit that a little bit. And then of course up here is a whole different story, but that was important. Hit all these connections. I mean, this certainly is not going to bring this back from the dead, but, you know, just try to do something. There's no real guarantee here. Looks like that works good. What else? I don't know. Shoot some lube down in here. Sure. How about here? Yeah, that works. This cable actually works, which is crazy. That looks like it moves. Sure. That looks like it could use some more. Yeah, so we'll start there for now. I think that's decent. This could use some. Now we're just getting crazy. Crazy. Okay. Yeah, so we'll start there for that. I'm going to pop these wheels off next, and we'll show you why we do that. Okay, so we got the rims and tires off. You can see there's some play, which is to be expected. It's an old machine. So partially the reason why I like to take these rims off, which you don't have to even replace the tubes on these tires. They have a hub. But this isn't a great example because it doesn't have bearings or bushings, I don't think. These might be replaceable, but I'm not sure. I like to grease these so that everything comes apart easily if you need to replace the bushings in the future. Plus, you can kind of shove some grease in there or a spray lubricant, and it will prolong the life of this machine slightly, which, you know, that's the goal. Pretty much, that's what we got going there. Next step, make sure your tires are equal. Try to hit 15.5 for these. That's good. Both sides are done. Now, let's see if we can loosen these. I sprayed them earlier. I don't know. I'm not giving it all. Okay, we got movement. So I'm going to loosen these skids, and then we'll use a piece of cardboard to adjust the skids. Okay, so this is kind of, I mean, the scraper bar on this is pretty bad. So I just stacked 2 pieces of cardboard, and I'm gonna just tighten these. I actually got these all loose without breaking anything, which is amazing because they're just about as bad as you could get. Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's good enough. I mean, yeah, that's fine. Cool. Okay, a couple more spots to lubricate. This is the end of that chute cable. It's hurting, trust me. It's not in great shape, so give it every piece of life we can get. And then I usually hit the hinge inside the chute, and then we'll help this out a little bit. Hit this some more. I mean, we'll see how it works now. So yeah, it works. Just very slow, so it needs to be worked. And then this, actually, besides this piece of junk bushing, this came back to life somewhat, because it did not move at first. Again, just gonna have to be exercised some. But as far as lubrication, oil and greasing, that's all of that stuff. Next step, because I don't really want to fill the oil up with a dipstick that's busted. So we're going to take this cover off because the carburetor leaks and yeah, it doesn't run very good. And we'll do the dipstick tube at the same time. Alright, so we got this piece out. This part was easy. This part was not. Had to smash it out with a screwdriver and turn it all the way out. I had about 52 of these on hand with a dipstick, so we're just gonna screw it right in there and that'll be that. That's easy. So we're gonna start to take down this carburetor, and we'll take this bracket off first. I remember why I stopped YouTubing now. This is a pain. Yeah, missing pieces. All right. So we're going to just break this all down and take it off. So this is a Tecumseh fuel line remover. I'm sure there are many like it that aren't Tecumseh labeled, but let me tell you, when you're trying to pry a fuel line off of here, it's pretty nice. Really hard to demonstrate, but they come off in 2 seconds with this tool instead of a screwdriver or something, mangling the fuel line. Okay, so we're gonna pull this jet off. Can't imagine this is gonna look very good, but I don't think it's gonna be too bad. This is one I just replaced this morning on a different Tecumseh. This is the EPA carburetor. Yeah, sure, could have been cleaned, but why? Anyways. Okay, not as bad. It does run better than that other machine. Gasket is still semi-soft. I think the seat is what's causing the issues. It is still in there, but we will replace it. Alright, this is actually pretty awesome. I haven't seen this for a while. I always get in the habit of shaking the bowl. You can see my gloves are getting wet because there is a pretty large crack in this float. I might have said bowl, but it's a float. This is the bowl. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. So yeah, this is a completely mangled float. So what we can do, since this is my machine, is take this one out, which can't hear anything, and we'll just clean it up and throw it in this machine, or this carburetor. Or, I mean, I have like an entire shelf full of carburetors, so not like I'm hurting for one. So we'll replace that, clean it up, and that'll be that. Okay, we got the bowl clean enough. We got the float clean enough. Remember, this thing is not great, okay? This is a Tecumseh tool. Come on, focus. 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 Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. Tecumseh 670377. It pulls out the seat. So you stick it in there. One-handed is just miserable, alright? And then you hook it, and then it should just... There we go. See that? Look at that. Pops right out. Now, I'm most likely going to just throw this one back in because it looks fine, but just wanted to make sure it's alright. And when you blow your compressed air in there, they fly out fast. And if you don't have one on hand, it's not going to work. So I always just take it out anyhow. I got to take this out next, and then we're good to start cleaning this thing. Okay, we're using Castor Oil GTX Full Synthetic 530. I get this for like 22 bucks a bottle somewhere. So we're going to fill this oil up, and then we're going to do a test fire and see what happens. Okay, time has changed, so apologize for the darkness, but we're going to give it a test fire. It seems like it primed. Can't see much, but can't see, there we go. So I adjusted the carburetor 1.5 on the high speed, 1.5 on the low speed. So I'm going to let it just kind of warm up for a minute, and then I'm going to get out here and test and tune it. Test and tune it. Alright, so it's plenty warm. I tuned it. It idles great, and it throttles up really good too. So, it's a used carburetor, right? It's old. It's not running 100%. I'd say it's running like 90 to 95%, which is fine. There we go. So, what are my plans with this? I don't know. It doesn't need anything else. I'm going to just put the pieces back on over here. But it doesn't need anything else. It's done. I checked the gearbox. It's full of fluid. Did the shear pins. I greased the augers and everything. I mean, this thing doesn't need anything. So I put oil in it and a spark plug and gas. Let me think. I didn't put any new parts in the carburetor. That's all the same. It doesn't even leak. Didn't fix the tires, so those will probably bite me later. Didn't break any skid hardware. I mean, I'll probably do a pull cord just because this stuff is kind of stretchy. Didn't replace fuel lines. Cables came back to life. I mean, we're in this for, I don't know, we'll say $30. 30 bucks. And it works. And I'm confident that it will throw snow because this thing runs good. It runs high, runs fast. So I guess that's the end of this video series. Probably can update this winter when it really rips some snow out. Got pretty much everything done that I had to do today. That's why this got worked on tonight. Did this one. Just needed a regular service. And then that Husqvarna, I got to stop looking through the camera. That Husqvarna right there needed a carburetor and it didn't go in reverse. So fixed all that. And there was something else wrong with it. I don't know. I write it all down so I don't forget. But yeah, so that's it. We're done. $20 snowblower. $10 in service parts. Oh yeah, I did the dipstick too, but that was free. Had that from a trash picked motor. So I guess that's it. I don't think the next one will be this easy. Thanks for watching.